So Scholomance Academy comes out on Thursday, and I wanted to talk about 5 decks that I'm really looking forward to playing on day 1. But yeah, there's so many cool lists. This is day 1, so I recommend if you can, just play whatever the hell you want to. Don't take it too seriously. Day 1, day 2, those are the most fun days of Hearthstone, in my opinion, when new expansions come out. Just being able to play whatever the hell you feel like and do decently. It's an amazing feeling. So if you haven't experienced that yet, go ahead and try that out. If you think you're not a great deck builder or anything like that, I also recommend just try it anyway. Try your own thing. You don't gotta try these, man. These are just what I'm gonna be trying. I'm gonna be changing my deck list up a lot, mostly trying to hone in on spell damage Shaman and Ripper Warrior, because they just, I got something about those decks, man. So first up, I'm gonna talk about Ripper Warrior. Ripper Warrior is a deck I've been playing a lot of, and it definitely got strengthened by some of these cards. Most notably, we got Commencement, Troublemaker, and Rattlegore, in addition to Athletic Studies. And then we're also running Ceremonial Maul. Now the Maul might end up being cut for Live Wire Lance or just a Wrench Caliber, but I'm definitely going to try it on day 1, using the Maul and then maybe using Commencement or using a Brawl. Even a Shield Block, I feel like you're going to get decent value out of. Another possible inclusion is that Spellburst Scythe that does cleave damage. That one might be a good choice to mess around with, but when I was watching Theory Crafting, people didn't really get any value off of that. So I'm thinking Ceremonial Maul might be the way to go. We do have a lot of big minions that kind of filled that void where we didn't have enough gas sometimes in the old Ripper Warrior. So having Rattlegore, he's just super sticky, hard to remove. He'll feel decent to throw out on 9, but feels amazing off of a Commencement, or even better, a Ripper or a Reaver. Troublemaker, I think, is really like the star card here. This card is just incredibly overstated. It's super proactive. Like, you just throw it on the board and it's going to summon 2 3/3s, and if your opponent doesn't have any minions on the board, they're going to hit him in the face. So imagine like ripping a Troublemaker. You're going to get so many stats on the board. This is absolutely insane, and without Troublemaker, I think the deck would look okay, but I think it's looking pretty solid. And then we have Athletic Studies, which is really good for putting in minions in our deck without actually like having minions in our deck, if that makes sense, because you don't want small minions in your deck if you have Commencement and if you have Dimensional Ripper. So being able to pull off select minions off of those cards is necessary, and so we have Athletic Studies to maybe fill out our mid-range game plan, right? So if we're trying to pull out a Kargath, maybe we get an extra Kargath off of the Athletic Studies. Maybe it's just a Restless Mummy or something like that. But yeah, Athletic Studies, super solid for strengthening that early game. So super excited about this. But another deck I've been playing a lot of is Spell Damage Shaman, and that got a lot of tools as well. Now I think this is going to be a solid list. There is a lot of wiggle room, a lot of different things to try. You can go a little bit more tempo-y with like Lightning Blooms and maybe the Cumulos, or maybe you want an extra Sorceress Substitute, and there are a lot of other minions you could be throwing in here, but I'm going more of a bursty spell damage over the top sort of build here with the Lightning Bolts, with the Lava Bursts, the Molten Blasts, and the Spellkins, which will get us, 1 mana spells. Now the 1 mana spell pool is diluted a little bit, but I think using a Spellkin and getting a Primordial Studies, you're generally going to be pretty happy, but you kind of want to hit Lightning Bolt. So consistency of Spellkin does drop, and maybe we want to drop that, but a lot of tools to strengthen this being added in this expansion. So because we have so many new cards, I think this is something really exciting to mess around with on day 1. So we have the 2 Primordial Studies. We do have a Note Taker, which maybe I'll want 2, but right now I'm starting with 1. We have 2 Rune Daggers for that consistent addition of spell damage, in addition to 3 swings usually to your opponent's face. We got Instructor Fireheart, which is just a better Volpera Scoundrel. I was running Scoundrel in my old builds, and Scoundrel felt great. So an upgrade to that, I'll take it, man. We got Molten Blast, which honestly it seems like a weak link to me in this build. I'm probably going to mess around with it for a little bit, but I feel like it's on the chopping block for sure, because it's not that much damage face. I wonder if I'd rather have something like a Frostbolt even, or sorry, a Frost Shock. That might be solid. solid because Frost Shock goes face and it's only 1 mana. So doing something like a Squall Hunter, maybe throw down your Thalnos and you also hit with your Rune Dagger. All of a sudden you have +4 spell damage and you go Lightning Bolt, Frost Shock, Frost Shock. That's a lot of damage. Ras, super good here, man. He does 1 damage AoE to the entire opponent's side of the board and including their face. So if you use a Ras and you have that Rune Dagger, it's going to be 2 to everything. And then if you have something like a Squall Hunter on the board or just maybe a minion you found off of the Primordial Studies, it's going to do a lot of work. So really excited to try this one out. Lurker Below, a lot of people were asking me like why Lurker Below, and honestly it's for survivability in a way. It's got a lot of attack, so it's a minion that kind of needs removal. Otherwise, it's going to hit your opponent in the face, but it may buy you that additional turn to hopefully kill your opponent. Maybe you survive 1 more turn instead of dying, right? So your opponent has a big board of Murlocs, just hit it with the Lurker Below, maybe Frost Shock their face or something, and then the next turn, hopefully you can dump your hand and kill them. Really excited about that. But yeah, a lot of different lists to try within the spell Shaman sort of realm. Again, Cumulo might be good, maybe an extra substitute, maybe the 5 mana elemental that is a 4/4 like the Azure Drake, but the elemental build like that might be solid. Okay, we got a deck here from my friend Sidisi, who's a hunter god, and this looks like a lot of fun. It's really capitalizing on guardian animals, which I think might be better in druid, but I'm more excited about hunter for some reason, and this looks solid. We're also capitalizing on Leerox and Crush, and since I have those in gold, I'm definitely gonna mess around with this. But we do have a select number of beasts because we want to capitalize on guardian animals, which is 7 mana. It summons 2 beasts that cost 5 or less from your deck, and it gives them rush. So what am I trying to hit? I'm trying to hit Teacher's Pet. I'm trying to hit the Bark Stripper. I'm trying to hit the Lake Thresher. And also we do have Zixor in there. Generally, I don't think you want to hit Zixor off of this, although it won't feel terrible. You want to be hitting your other things. The Bark Strippers are good because they still got that spell burst on them. After you use the guardian animals, you still get to get value out of that spell burst. And Teacher's Pet, you still get to get value because you summon a 3-cost beast. And with Lake Thresher, Lake Thresher is insane, you guys. Like, look at this. It's got cleave, it's gonna have rush, it's gonna clear maybe 3 things, right? So that's super solid. We have Scavenger's Ingenuity to pull these minions out as well. A little bit of draw there, very nice. We got the True Aim Crescent, which would be great for just clearing boards, clearing minions, and then Demon Companion in addition to Animal Companion. A little bit of RNG, but you know, I think you're generally happy with whatever you pull out of that Animal Companion, and Demon Companion being half of Animal Companion at 1/3 of the cost is super good. And then of course we do have Leerox and Crush and Ramekin Wild Tamers. So you got that 30, sorry, well, maybe it's 30 damage depending on if you pull Crush out of your Ingenuity or not, but 24 to 30 damage combo where you can duplicate your King Crushes and then pull that out with Leerox. But sometimes you're not going to be able to do that, and you just use the Wild Tamer on, I don't know, maybe use it on your Lake Thresher, maybe use it on your Bark Stripper, maybe use it on your Zixor Prime or just your normal Zixor. So super solid hunter list. I don't think this is going to be like a top tier hunter list. I feel like it's still going to be Highlander hunter, but a lot of fun. And day one is all about fun, so I'm going to be messing around with this one. Next deck is one that I found really interesting from my friend Funkimonki, who you can search him on YouTube, and he's a streamer as well. And we got a tempo mage. I would say a spell damage mage. I'm very excited about spell damage shaman, and also of course, you know, the spell damage mage, they're going to use a lot of similar cards or similar thought process. I would say we got the spellbook binders here that really they give us that nice draw because we have so many spell damage minions. We have Lab Partner, which is a 1-mana 1/3, which gives us spell damage. That's absolutely it's bonkers, man. We got Solarian and Thalnos for a little bit more spell damage. We got Cram Session to really benefit off of all our spell damage minions. We got Primordial Studies, which is going to find us more spell damage minions. And then on top of that, we got Mozaki, right? This new legendary that gets bonus spell damage based on how many spells we've played while they're on the board. So maybe we can bump up that spell damage and then just let go with some huge missiles or some other stuff. I'm thinking maybe an Evocation fits somewhere in here. So maybe we want to drop maybe a Firebrand or maybe a Fireball. Fireball might be a little bit too expensive here. I feel bad dropping the Firebrand because that's one of the new cards, right? But Ras also in here. Ras going to be used in all the spell damage lists. I think if you're planning on playing any Mage or any Shaman, Ras seems like a safe choice. I imagine he's going to be used until rotation. Even in non-spell damage lists, like he does a lot of work. Okay, this next list is a rogue list. This is from Jay Alexander, who is the rogue god, and this is an aggro weapon rogue, which really capitalizes on the aggressiveness that rogue can bring with these new cards and weapons, right? I think it's really cool that rogue is finally not going to be Galakron rogue. I'm kind of getting bored of Galakron rogue. I don't know about you guys, but so really the only weapon here we have is the self-sharpening sword, and this thing should stick around for quite a while because it has that high durability. We could buff that up with things like the Volpera Toxin Blade with the deadly poison, and then we can capitalize on that high attack weapon with a Steel Dancer. We also have Infiltrator Lillian, which if you're good enough, that's always going to be 8 damage face. The Evis is to go over taunts. We got Saps to get rid of taunts, and just for insane tempo. We have all these stealth minions, and then we have the Ashtongue Slayer to give those stealth minions extra attack. And of course, we got Secret Passage. Secret Passage was like really what Rogue needed in order to be a little bit more aggro. I think Secret Passage, I mean, maybe it's one of the best cards in the set, in my opinion. I think these aggro stealth rogues kind of ran out of gas early, and then you're kind of just top decking and hoping that you kind of found lethal. And now that they have Secret Passage, you get so much gas from that. Maybe turn 6, turn 7, you're out of card. Get that Secret Passage, you play it, and then you find 2 Evises and like a Volpera Toxin Blade, and then boom, you get them for lethal, right? So really cool rogue list there. A real quick note: 60% of you guys are not subscribed. If all the people who weren't subscribed, would subscribe to this, which is free, we'd be at 100K subs, man. We'd be at 100K. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you haven't opened your packs yet, good luck on your pack openings. Good luck on ladder, and stay hydrated.